Hello YouTube. Today I'm going to talk about my big knife and how I use it. Now the big knife is not my favorite tool, but I've got at least 50 requests to do this video. So here it is. This is my favorite big knife. It's a cheap one. I've got it from the flea market. Very cheap. But it's a good one. I like it. I modified the handle to better fit my hand, and now it allows me 3 different grips. This one with 1 finger in this choil, this one closer to the blade, more control, with 2 fingers in this choil, and one with these 2 fingers here and one choking the blade for very fine detail work. Now these holes here are intended for this kind of grip, but I really don't like it. I almost never use this grip. However, I found another use for these holes, and let me show you what I'm talking about. The holes make an excellent striker for the fire steel, like this. So for finer work, like making feather sticks, I choke up the blade, and I'm using this part of the blade like this. Now this is not the best tool for making feather sticks because of the angle of the blade. It is too big. To make good feather sticks you need a very small angle. This is a bigger angle because, being a big blade, its main function is as a chopper, not as a fine cutter. But you can do the job even with this big angle. The main function of the big blade is chopping. So it's a good thing this is not a very hard steel. When I chop, I know most of the guys are holding the knife firmly with these 2 fingers and loosely with the other 2 and go like this. I don't like this method. The way I do it, I hold the knife firmly with these 2 fingers and I control the movement with the other 3 fingers, like this. Now, for very precise strikes, I use my wrist. I move the knife from my wrist. If I need to apply some more force, I move the knife from my elbow, like this. And if I need to really put some power into the strike, I use my shoulder, my elbow and my wrist. It's a combined move, like this. Now for a small precise strike, I use my wrist. I also use the first part of the blade because it allows me more control, like this. If I need to apply more power into the strike, I use this part of the blade, which is the main striking part. If I need to put more power into the strike, I use not only my wrist, but my elbow too, like this. And if I really need some power into it, I use my shoulder too. So it's a shoulder, elbow, wrist combined action. Another important function of the big blade is splitting. Now, I don't do a lot of splitting because, quite frankly, I think it's pointless. I know in winter, wet wood, so on, I don't need to split wood to light the fire. But if you do, for the big blade, it's not difficult to split wood using a baton. The first blow goes mainly directly over the wood, like this. And from now on, you hit this part from the tip of the knife, but you try to keep it horizontal. So first blow over the wood, and now at the tip. Keep it horizontally, don't let it go like this. Don't let it go like this, horizontally. Of course, you can use the big blade for smaller jobs, even if it's not so comfortable. You can use the reverse grip, or the push cut, or this type of cutting, where you support the back of the blade right here under your kneecap. Now a tip for taking the branches off from the main branch. If you need to take this off, now this is not a very good example because it's very thin and it really doesn't matter, but you'll get the point. Strike from here, not from here. Why is this? You always need to maintain a 45 angle when you strike the wood. If you hit it perpendicularly, most likely you won't be able to cut the wood. Again, not this piece because it's very thin, but a thicker one. Now, if you strike from here, the limb will bend and you will get into a perpendicular position. So you won't be able to cut it. Or you will cut and the knife will slide and will stop here in the crotch, because imagine this being thick, you won't be able to split it, and you don't want to split it, you just want to remove this limb. But if you strike from here, even if this bends, you won't get into a perpendicular position. Okay, so don't do this, do this. Okay, that's it folks. I hope you like it. Bye bye.